See, I am back, guys, and oh boy, I got some good. So good, I'm enjoying right now. Just sometimes just not working. It's so cool in here. It's very cold in my room. Oh shit. I don't care if you see my Wi-Fi. Change there for a week. Alright. Enough fucking word. I got pizza crust all over my thingy. My god, dude! I'm beyond pissed. I'm beyond pissed. Okay. There's this video I want to watch right now, so let me put that on. You can't hear it. Actually, you probably can, but I got pizza crust all over my thing. My god, dude.
Credit cards were a thing? There was something called a Diners Club card. Started in 1949 by a guy named Hank Exton. The Diners Club was the first real payment card company in the world, and it let you eat at restaurants on credit, and then you could pay off your bill at the end of each month. But it wasn't a true credit card. It was what's called a charge card. And it was the first of its kind to survive and thrive. So I would say those are called charge cards. There's been a few attempts at doing that now. American Express traditionally has done that, platinum to gold. Yeah, like credit cards to pay in. You can pay off the minimum, and then you can go to one debt, and you don't have to pay back, and that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, charge cards, the expectation that you pay off the full. This is Sebi with a YouTube channel at Sebi. He teaches people how to profit from using credit cards instead of getting enslaved by them. So Sebastian from Sebi, I talk about credit cards and how normal people can use it to do application. This first year, 10,000 people signed up for the Diners Club card. By 1959, the club had over 1 million members. It went
so I can't really watch this video at the same time and also shit. So this is a new patent. At least that's what it claims to be. I believe like all the shit. Actually what they do stuff. And we only have 3 citations? They only have 4? That's crazy! We've been making claims since forever. So this is already a bad patent, so I don't need to be a patent attorney to know that. I'm not a patent attorney though, but I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes. Don't follow my advice. Actually, as general advice, I'm not even sure if I have a personal right to express my ideas. This is literally exchanging ideas. It's like what the Constitution is founded on. Like, it'd be crazy if I couldn't. Like, if I'm not giving legal advice. This is just for fun. This is just not even fun. It's for general what I think, my opinion. You know, it's political. This is a political, argument. So not that I always do is I always say this shit, but it really is, don't follow my advice. Actually, as general advice, I'm not even sure if I have a personal right to express my ideas. Like, this is literally exchanging ideas. Like, what the Constitution okay, so that's what I thought. It would need a high temperature. Like, if I'm not giving legal advice. The problem is that we're trying to create clay without high temperature. We can't, realistically get 900 to 1,000 degrees unless we put this stuff in the sun, which is what it essentially is, really. Clay is usually just made from the sun. But right now it's raining as fuck. It's not. See, this is I want to make it like cook. What's a good temperature? 300 degrees to cook clay. Doesn't matter. The problem is that we're trying to. And one of the problems with making clay is that they have a lot of deadly fumes. Unfortunately, this pen doesn't really seem to go over that deadly fumes. But the obvious, I'm just gonna say right now, it's salt, the salt solution. If you have the smoke going in and fill space, no, you don't know. But obviously, the salt would do chemical reaction to get rid of all the fumes, chemically react. Well, I'm not sure for sure. I don't really know for sure. That's how I think. That's my idea. And it's just clay, really just dirt. But you don't know what the government, all these cars going out everywhere at once, piling that onto dirt. Obviously, the salt would do chemical reaction to get rid of all the fumes, chemically react. Well, I'm not sure for sure. I don't really know for sure. I'm gonna drink some water right now. That's what I think. That's my idea. Good water. Unfortunately, because it's so cool right now, that my mouse is not working. I don't know the logic in that, but it just doesn't work right now. So I have to use my mouse pad. A lot of this stuff is really good patents. Procter & Gamble would probably, make a lot of power. I think Procter & Gamble has put a hole, they have a hole in the ground, just concrete city to go. Good for them, good for them. They're expiring example to be up, they're expiring. I'm just an average Joe. I'm using the patent system how it's meant to be. Of course, this stuff is still. I see they're paying license fee. I have to check each time if they're paying license fee and all stuff. Get some licenses. And most of the time, they don't even cite their patents right. It's crazy. They only put 3 patents, 3 citations. I'm sure that they've paid for thousands of years. Highly doubt this. The pictures I don't like the pictures. It's not really that helpful. It's the temperature that we're worried about the most. We need low temperature. Play. So low temperature. That's what we want, but we're not gonna. It's not gonna be easy to find. No reason. See, China has been on this. I don't think the patent system really cares about. They take your money, and when someone wants to dispute your claims, they can for money. See what does this put? For this, they put lithium, all the stuff. Let's see, nitrogen. Mercury. I don't know. I'm not sure. What's TI? I don't remember that element. That come up by a PR cable, but if it's anything around the house, I'm sure I'll have it. They take your money. Well, yeah. If I have it, then I have it. Low temperature. All the stuff. Let's see. Nitrogen. Pre-burning. Mercury. I'm not sure. What's TI? I want to find something less than 300 degrees. That would actually be a very good invention. They have a bunch of low temperature patents. They have microwave stuff, but I'm not looking for microwave. Although it could be. Let me see how they're using this stuff. Still active. Essentially, they're just putting clay in microwaves. I'm trying to do it with a turkey cooker. So. So I'm doing this something. It's Polish. I'm looking for microwave. Although it could be. Let me see how they're using this stuff. They published the patent, but I don't think they actually see what they did. Essentially, they just put in clay in microwave. Oh, it's missing information. This is missing information. I'm trying to do it. Okay, so let's go. Let's see. 200 degrees. Fuck that. You want to keep a low temperature, like cooking temperature, you know? Although maybe I'm thinking of this crazy. Like maybe you could use 300 degrees to heat an element up, and then it goes to 200 degrees. So let's see what they did. Missing information. This is missing information. I'm sure. Can you turn 300 degrees into 2,000 degrees? I'm sure you can. It's like amps, right? So you're heating the line. Oh, see? Oh, yes. The line. No. You want to keep a low temperature, like cooking temperature. This is the correct degrees. Maybe I'm thinking of this crazy. Like maybe you could use. So what they did is refractory materials. 200 degrees. So let's see what they did. Well, I guess you could put paper in there too. We put pulp in there to heat it up. I'm sure. So yeah, there are ways to do this better. I'm sure you can. I just don't have the terms. They have the terms right here, I think. So you're heating the line. Oh, see. Oh, yes. The line. No. So just because a turkey baster goes, or a turkey cooker goes to 300 degrees or 200 degrees, doesn't mean that the inside is going to be 200 degrees. That's what I'm getting at. Maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe I'm imagining stuff. This is not what they're saying. Hopefully hopefully they're saying that. Actually, I don't even care if they say it or not. I imagined it, so it makes sense. You know, when you cook a fire, it's like fire. You know, sure it starts at like 2 degrees and it expands to fire. Refractories. See, Goldsman Corporation right here. These are very big corporations, industrial. That's what I'm getting at. Maybe it's my imagination. Maybe I'm imagining stuff. This is not what they're saying. Hopefully that's what I'm saying. Hopefully they're saying. Are these patents? Actually, I don't care if they said it or not. I imagined it, so it makes sense. You know, when you cook a fire, it's like fire. You know, sure it starts at like 2 degrees. These are very good patents. So imagine. There's been a question I've been thinking. Okay. Land patents. The land patent is using mineral rights, you know. That's the basic understanding of what I know. The land patent is using mineral rights. So if you dig out a typical like 500 feet, 5,000 feet house, well, not even a house, it's a lot. So digging down, how much value would that bring? And the question is right here. The answer is right here. Because all of this is all regulated, right? So basic understanding of what I know. The land patent is using mineral rights. So however much, all these patents, all this money, like we're assuming in the scenario that, you know, they don't have any patents, like the patents, you get a license or whatever, you know, or they don't pay fees, or we find out the part are, yeah, we're assuming all that stuff, because, you know, eventually these patents are going to expire, you know, in my lifetime they're going to expire. It's not going to be long, you know. Usually I can't patent them today, even I don't get a license today, you know. Eventually there's going to be a time where it's going to be open. Like Polish. I like how they have all these little things. Okay. Yeah, ceramic. There are a lot of companies, you know, base their companies on mugs. You can make a lot of money with mugs. Especially if you're custom making them. Let me get some pizza right now. So I'm not even hungry. I just like pizza. Sorry. Put here. Can I actually do anything with this? Oh, I can. That's cool. Okay, cool. So, but this is actually really neat. I haven't seen a pattern like this before. Usually they do drawings, but here they're actually teaching you. That is cool. Here's this cool ass machine. This is a really simple shape. Oh, they explain it so well, it's so complicated. All it is blended mud. But it's water wastes a lot. That's how they describe it. It's really just a story. Not an expert. I never did this myself. Okay, I don't. I've worked. Well, not even that. Like, if you haven't been around bugs your whole life, you know where you been. You know. It's water wastes a lot. That's how they describe it. It's really just a story. You know, you put wood in a fire to make you heat it up. You know. I've worked. Well, not even that. Like, if you haven't been around bugs your whole life, you know where you been. You know. Actually, I know what I want to look up now. Butter bell. Let's do electric turkey cooker. Electric turkey. And let's look up these companies too, because I verify. A patent's one thing, but other stuff is. Oh, I don't even have it. Actually, I know what I want to look up now. Butter bell. See this? I don't know what this is, dude, but look at all this stuff. They're gonna get that right now. And we watch some videos too. Bye-bye.
When Frank McNamara started the Diners Club, he had stumbled upon something insidiously genius. Charge cards and later credit cards tap into the very essence of human nature and greed. By paying with a credit card, you disconnected yourself from the pleasure of buying to the pain of paying. It makes you emotionally feel like you're getting something for free, when logically you know that isn't the case. See, one of the most efficient ways to make money is to get people in debt, to make them your debt slaves. There's a reason why some of the biggest dynasties throughout history come in the form of bankers. That's because all you have to do is hand someone money at an interest rate, and that's literally it. There's no fulfillment process. You don't have to manufacture and ship them the products. All you have to do is sit back, and your debt slaves will work for you to pay off the loan. Ideally, you would either want them to take out an incredibly large loan, like a mortgage for a house, so they're trapped in that loan for half or all of their life, or you would want them to have an insanely high interest rate, so that even if they only have a tiny bit of debt, they would still be caught in a vicious cycle for life, which would obviously trap poor people the easiest. And credit cards became the perfect vehicle for doing so. It allowed you to apply the same psychology that traps people into giant loans like for a house, but with everyday purchases. I mean, look at it, it's just a piece of plastic. It's so innocent and pretty. It's just one purchase that I can't afford right now. I'll pay it off. Until they don't. And before they know it, they've racked up so much credit card debt that they can barely afford to pay off just the interest every month. And that's exactly how things played out. Today, the average American adult has 3 credit cards, with an average balance of over $5,500, while the credit card companies have hauled in over $176 billion in income in 2020 alone. This is how credit cards became the modern-day loan sharks.
What do you think I am, some financial institution?
This video is about the dark side of credit cards. However, I'm actually a huge fan of them. I own 5 credit cards myself, and I have never paid a single cent in interest to credit card companies. So, if you play your cards right, you never buy what you can't afford, you always pay off your credit card every month, you can reap all the perks they give you for free without becoming a sucker. But the only way you're going to be able to get a credit card in the first place is if you have a good credit score. But to have a good credit score, you need credit. But to get get credit, you need a good credit score. Do you see the problem we have here? It's a problem that a great company called Extra solves. Extra is changing the game by being the first debit card that lets you build credits. You heard that right, a debit card that lets you build your credits. And guys, I really wish I had this when I was first trying to build my credit score. Here's how it works. All you've got to do is connect Extra to your existing bank account. Extra will give you a spending limit based on your balance with no credit check. You get your Extra card in the mail, and then you swipe your Extra card for whatever you want to buy. Extra spots you for the purchase, and then auto pays themselves back the next business day. At the end of the month, they report all your purchases back to the credit bureaus as credit-worthy purchases, building your credits. According to one user, his score went up by 100 points thanks to Extra. And just like with real credit cards, you'll earn sweet reward points on every single purchase you make. So what are you waiting for? Apply for free by going to extra.app/jtrend right now. The link is on the screen and in the video description below. That's extra.app/jtrend with the link below. Thanks to Extra for sponsoring this video. Of people all over America, and because it didn't have a banana strip or any way to keep a record of purchases, Bank of America lost millions. Back in the day, credit card fraud was ridiculously easy, but even though they lost money, they gained a massive customer base. Bank of America, today's way to pay. By 1966, the idea behind the credit card was so popular, Bank of America started licensing it to other banks. Then a merger in the 70s created Visa, and the credit competition was officially on. By the 80s, most credit cards came with a magnetic strip. This opened up the floodgates for more and more banks to jump on the bandwagon and offer their customers their own credit cards. People loved it. They were spending money that wasn't theirs. Along with other factors, household debt in the US started skyrocketing. The business model worked perfectly, but there was still something missing. Profits. At the time, these credit cards were only charging 4 to 5% interest, compared to today's average of over 16%. Sure, banks were making modest money off of the interest they charged, but in most cases, they were legally barred from raising rates higher. They needed a way to charge people more for using credits. They needed to turn this new genius tool that made people think that they could buy stuff for free into a loan sharking tool. And by the late 80s and early 90s, they finally found it. 4% interest compared to today's average of over 16%.
They only won that much. Honestly, something good, man.
Most states
Look how happy he is.
had a lot of regulations that prevented credit card companies from raising interest rates. But then, one state budges. South Dakota eliminated its cap on credit interest rates. The state had a cash cap for decades, and charging more interest was their Hail Mary, their last-ditch effort to avoid drowning in bankruptcy. And it got even better for credit card companies. Just a few years later, the U.S. Supreme Court passed the Marquette decision, allowing banks to export their interest rates to other states. This was incredibly important, because it meant that if a bank was based in South Dakota and had an interest rate of 25%, they could charge that same percentage all over the U.S., regardless of the interest rate laws in the other states. Effectively, the interest rate cap in other states became meaningless. Suddenly, all the banks wanted to move to South Dakota, and because they could charge a lot more interest, they started offering credit cards to everyone. College students, young adults, the unemployed, everyone gets a credit card. But if you are one of these more risky individuals, you would just have to pay an insanely high interest rates that could keep you trapped for life. It got to the point where Citibank was one of the most profitable businesses in the early 2000s. Then the Supreme Court passes another decision called Smiley. It It removed the last bits of regulation on late fees and interest, and basically gave banks free rein to rake in the money. The results? Things like 36% interest rates, or changing clients' interest rates at a moment's notice. A 36% interest rate meant that if you took 2 years to pay back a $10,000 credit balance, you would actually be paying the bank over $14,000 and around $590 every month. Most people can't afford $600 a month and end up being trapped for much longer. Even people who never missed a payment suddenly found that their interest rates had almost tripled, but there was pretty much nothing they could do about it, and the credit card companies were just getting started.
Oh yeah.
If you took 2 years to pay back a $10,000,
good for them, dude. I didn't think I was even looking at taxes, but here it is.
But they pay an carry a legal credit card. And they could carry a debit card. The target charges 20 fees, yet pays profit every year, which means it puts money into your pocket.
$25, dude.
by the 2000s,
Some of the dumbest things.
had doubled, even in low-income households. After taking control of interest rates,
Yeah, imagine that getting that mail, $25.
obviously,
Damn.
the client base the target were young, impressionable college students. Most of them wanted extra cash and wouldn't be bothered to read the fine
They really just pay these people just to write these for shit,
Most of
man.
them were also likely to miss payments, which meant credit card companies
paying you to write
slapped them with
reviews.
late fees and penalties. A credit card company's worst nightmare is a customer that pays off their debt every month because they get all the benefits without paying the interest. What they really want are the revolvers, people who can't afford to pay back their debt, so the amount of money they owe just gets bigger and bigger. American credit card companies were starting to look like high-class loan sharks. They would hire teams of lawyers to write their contracts, then bury hundreds of loopholes in the fine print. These loopholes gave them the power to raise interest rates even if you missed the payment on another creditor's loan, choose public holidays or weekends for payment due dates, so there was a greater chance your money would arrive late. They would even advertise going paperless to save the environment, when the reality is they know most people aren't likely to read the fine print in an email. Looking for even more customers, credit card companies started offering
Damn.
back rewards for using their cards. They will offer 0% fees for
That's
the
actually a
first
pretty good
6
deal.
months to a year to get you used to missing payments and not
Why
paying
should call these numbers, right?
interest until it becomes a habit. And they even lower their minimum payment from 5% to 2%.
Makes sense.
Today, the average American family has over $8,000 in credit card debts, and most of it is just collecting more and more penalties for late payments. And even when families declare bankruptcy, they still get offers from dozens of credit card companies for even more money they can spend. Now, all this may sound
Back then they had good
but they're
stuff
going to
there.
fight back. They're going to beat the credit card companies at their own game.
Wow, this is very concerned stuff.
Everyone knows the Visa card is the rest. But if your card's lost,
See, I actually love credit cards. I myself have 5 cards right now, and every single purchase I make goes on my credit card. And I've never paid a single cent in interest to credit card companies. Ever. Have you ever paid a single cent in interest?
No, doesn't really make sense to, because like the interest rates are crazy. So why would I ever put myself in a situation that did that?
How long have you had credit cards?
Probably like 8 years or so. Yeah, it's been a pretty long time.
Well, at the same time, I still get to enjoy all the perks they offer for free. So what kind of benefits do you enjoy these days?
I think the most useful ones that I appreciate every day now is airline lounge access. So the Platinum card, you get access to Delta Side Clubs and also Centurion lounges. I think you went to the Centurion lounge in London. Yeah, for me, I think it elevates that airport experience a lot more. So a lot of people associate airports with just terrible experiences, sitting around crowded, waiting hours on end. And when you have lounge cards, you kind of, I don't know, you kind of appreciate it a lot more. You're like, oh, I can just drink free alcohol and have free food and have free coffee and hang out on my laptop for an hour or two. It's not that bad. Like, I don't really mind doing that, and it's a lot more comfortable. And on one of those cards, the annual fee sounds very aggressive because you see this $700 number, but a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of credits, and you might not use every single credit, but it makes it a lot more reasonable. So that $700 might really only be $200. And then if you, let's say, fly every quarter, that's like about $50 per like trip. That's not too bad. And then if you fly more, obviously it becomes even better. And then with points, with like intro bonuses, you can do just really cool trips. So right now I'm in Vail, saving a crap ton of money because each night here is supposed to be $2,000. And if you like go around and you hear other people talking and the watches people are wearing, you know that people are dropping a lot of money here. And I'm like, oh, I'm here using points, and that's like 25,000 points. That's effectively $250. But yeah, so I'm spending $250 worth of points for something that costs $2,000 a night. No brainer.
So you're always going to use credit cards?
Oh, illegal.
So there's a lot of different rules.
Haha, okay, put that.
You get certain bonuses either once every 2 years or once in a lifetime. So I'll go up to once
If I make someone sign a contract, that's actually kind of true. That's actually true.
bonuses for me over there. But with something like Chase, I can now circle back and get.
So you know, the contract is like, I don't know. They don't
Over by credit card companies is to one, don't buy what you can't afford. If you wouldn't use your own cash on it, don't use a credit card. And two, pay it off every month. If you just do those two things, you will never pay a single dime in interest or fees to credit card companies. As an American, I think has like 5K credit card debt or whatever. So, how do you view credit cards?
I think it's like a knife or like alcohol. So if for someone who's irresponsible, I mean, anyone can be very dangerous with a knife, right? But if somebody's trying to be a chef, or even alcohol is a good example, right? If you can drink responsibly, alcohol is not really a problem. But yes, there are people out there who, where alcohol ends up hurting them, and for them, I would agree that it makes sense to avoid it entirely. But also, there's a lot of other credit cards that are not, I guess they don't work the same way as traditional credit cards in the sense that you have to pay it off full every month. So there's a lot more products out there that do stuff like that that might be better for those people. So they can't really accrue debt. They have to pay it off every single month anyway.
If you want to learn more about how Sebi hacks credit cards, I'll link to his YouTube channel and Instagram below. But the only way you'll be able to take advantage of credit cards is if you already have good credits. And if you still need to build your credit to get your first credit card in the first place, you can check out our sponsor Extra with the link below, which is again something I had when I was trying to build my credit score. Sebi hacks credit cards, I'll link to his YouTube channel and Instagram below. Be able to take advantage of credit cards if you already have good credits. And if you still need to build your credit to get your first credit card in the first place, you can check out our sponsor Extra with the link below.
Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, sometimes it's like computer crashes sometimes, so I have to check if this is even running. That's a good test.
A treasonous, and he has broken every law of the United States.
The founder of WikiLeaks. Location: the Ecuadorian Embassy in London. Objective: killer capture. Origins of this order: the highest levels and quote of the U.S. government and CIA. Normally, a target like Assange would be easy. Grab him from his way home from work, or shoot him as he walks to get his morning coffee. The only problem was Assange did none of these things. He hadn't done any of those things in years. For 5 years, Julian Assange had been hiding in the Ecuadorian Embassy in London. Killing him there or sending in the police would go against international law and be a foreign relations disaster. So the CIA had to concoct another plan. First, they discussed secretly kidnapping him from the embassy and bringing him back to America. But that would make it too obvious America law. So they changed tactics. was this one man so feared by the US government that they were, quote, completely detached from reality.